this has been a highly requested video. So I'm finally gonna do it. I'm gonna have my daughter obviously in the video, and because today is gonna be a story time, how I found out I was pregnant with my baby, or pregnant at 16, whatever. So now I am 17 years old. I turned 18 next month in October. So this was last year. Last year I was 16 and I got pregnant when I was 16, and then I had turned 17. So yeah, so basically I got pregnant at 16. So let me get started with how I found out. Okay. So on May 25th 2016 I had found out. That's the date I found out I was pregnant. So yeah, let's get started. So backstory to how I found out I was pregnant and how my mom basically like knew I was pregnant before I knew I was pregnant was, at the time I wasn't really keeping track of my periods or anything. Like I didn't think I was gonna get pregnant, you know. I was like really young, 16. I mean, I'm still young. That was just last year, but at the time I didn't have no responsibilities, you know, like major responsibilities. So like I just did whatever the hell I wanted, and you know, I wouldn't like think nothing of it. So at the time, me and my baby father were going through some things, and I don't know, I just wasn't really thinking about like my period not coming. So I remember one day I was home. Okay, mommy. I was home and I was just on my bed, you know, just chilling, and it was early morning, and my mom comes in my room like normally, you know, and she starts like folding clothes and everything. So she's just on the floor folding clothes, and I'm on my phone like not thinking nothing of it. So basically I was like this, right? Look. So I was just like, okay, without the baby. So I was just like this, like on my phone, whatever. And I don't know where she's like, you're pregnant. Like she looks at me, like she don't say it like this, but she's like, I'm on my phone, right? And I'm like, whatever. And we weren't talking at all. Like we weren't talking. Like she just came in my room like nothing, and I wasn't thinking nothing of it. Like I didn't think nothing of it, you know. It was just like another day. So I was just like, okay, whatever, like whatever. And then she like looks at me and she's like, you're pregnant. And I'm just there, like I look at her for like a good 3 seconds, and I just start laughing. I'm like laughing, but like, cause I'm like, what the fuck? Like out of nowhere she told me like, oh, you're pregnant, like in a serious voice. So like my voice is not serious. So you know, I was just like, what? Like, no, I'm not pregnant. I was like, I'm not pregnant, mom, what the fuck? And I'm just like laughing. I'm like, you're tripping, like you're tripping. And she's just like, whatever. And then at that moment I was just like, okay, like why would she say that? So I'm just, all of this I'm thinking in my head at this moment. So after I was like, mom, I'm not pregnant, you're tripping. Like she don't say nothing. Like she just keeps going back to like folding her clothes, right? And at that moment I was like, wait, I haven't got my fucking period. I haven't got my period. Like what month are we in? And sorry, I had to put her down because this shit about to get real, okay? So then I like start thinking, and I'm like, wait, when's the last time I got my period? So at this moment I was like, oh shit, like I'm looking on my phone and I'm like trying to remember, right? So I'm like looking back, and it was May 25th. Like just make sure you know this, May 25th, that's the day that I was like finding out all this shit. And I'm like, okay, May. I usually get the same, my periods are always like around like the 15th through 18th. Wow, mama, look, my baby's sick, guys, so I'm sorry if she starts crying in the middle of the video and I'm talking fast. I just need to get this going fast because she's gonna start crying a little bit. I already know. Start backtracking to April, right? And I'm like, okay, I haven't got my period and it's already the 25th, and I usually get my period through the 15th through 18th, right? So I was like, fuck, like I haven't got my period this month. So then I start thinking, okay, April, let me check. April, have I got my period? So I started going through my phone, and I don't remember getting my period on April. So I was like, okay, like what the fuck? And I started like going through every week. I started like remembering like what I did on that specific day, like through the 15th through 18th, you know, on April, or other days, and I start going through my pictures, you know, just in case I remember I went somewhere, and like I could probably remember if I was on my period that day. So I go back and I'm like, oh, like I for sure didn't get my period on April. So I'm just like, fuck, like I haven't got my period on April. I'm already like a week or so late on my period on May. So I'm like, keep in mind, I'm just thinking this all in my head, right? So I'm just like, oh shit. So all this I'm thinking in my head. My mom's still on the floor folding, whatever. And so at this point, I'm already thinking like, shit, like if I didn't get my period last month and this month, like something's going on, you know. If I'm not pregnant, then my shit's fucked up. So then I have to think a way of to tell my mom, like, I'm gonna go to the store, but I don't want to tell her because then she's gonna know, like, yeah, she's probably pregnant, you know. So I had to make up this whole shit. So I'm like, this is like around 8 in the morning. That was super early. Everybody was still asleep. My little brothers, the twins, they were awake. So I had to wake up my little sister, which she's 14, 13, I think. I'm not sure. So I'm like, okay, you had to, like, we had to make a plan because I have to go to the store. So it's in the morning, right? So I'm over here thinking like, oh, let me just make up that I'm super hungry and like there's nothing to eat, so I could go to McDonald's, and after McDonald's I could go like to Walmart and buy a pregnancy test, right? So then I tell my mom. My mom kind of looks like she knows that I'm for sure pregnant, like she knows it in her soul. So I'm just like, fuck, like I don't even want to talk to her. So I'm like, Mom, can you give me money so I could go to McDonald's? And she's like, no, mija, vete a hacerte unos huevos con salchicha. Like, you know, like, really? Like, I want some McDonald's breakfast. And she's like, no, vete a hacerte unos huevos con salchicha. And I'm just like, damn, like, she don't want to give me money so I could go to freaking McDonald's. So I'm just like, fuck. So I had to tell my sister, like, I had to wake her up, and I'm like, okay, like, act like you're super hungry and that you want McDonald's and you can come with me. So my sister wakes up and she's like, Mommy, quiero McDonald's, blah, blah, like, I'm hungry. And then at this point, all my brothers wake up. So everybody's like, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. So my mom's obviously busy folding everybody's clothes, you know. So she's like, okay, go to McDonald's and bring this and this and that, right? So she gives me this list, whatever, and I go to McDonald's. And so at this point, I'm at McDonald's waiting, and I call my mom because it was pretty long in the morning. So I'm like, I'm still in line, whatever, I'll be there in a little bit. Okay, I leave McDonald's. Right in front of McDonald's is Walmart. So I'm like, okay, let me go to Walmart real quick, get a, like, go in and out, get a pregnancy test, and that's it. So I go to Walmart and I get a pregnancy test. Oh my god, walk into that pregnancy test section, I'm just like, fuck, like my heart was beating so fucking fast. I'm like, oh my god, like, I please don't, like, no, I don't want to be pregnant. So so I walk into it, and like I go to self-checkout because, you know, that shit, like, it's not embarrassing, but it's you know, that's just like, you know, like, oh, you had sex, you little dirty ass, you know, you dirty ass, you know, like, walk into that pregnancy and give it to like the person, cashier or whatever. So I was like, no, I don't want to do that. So yeah, I go to self-checkout, go in and out quick, go home. I get home and my sister's like, let me see what you bought, let me see what you bought. And obviously I didn't want to tell nobody, so I'm like, no, it's nothing, you know, whatever. She was like, whatever. And so I'm trying to sneak in the Walmart bag and the pregnancy test, because the pregnancy tests are like, I got the first response one, and so, you know, it comes with 2, so it's big. And so I'm trying to hide it, so I put it like behind, like, my pants, like behind, and I'm just walking like to my room. And then like right when you go in my room, my mom was on the floor, so I had to go in, and then like I had to like turn around in a way so she won't see, like, if I turn my back around so she could see the pregnancy test. So I had to turn around, and like my closet was right behind me, so I had to like walk like this to my closet. And my mom was like kind of like noticing it, like I was being fishy, so she was just looking at me like, what the fuck. And so I lay down in my closet, and I'm like slowly taking out my pregnancy test. And I'm like, okay, fine, I got it out, whatever. I put it in my closet, I closed my door in my closet, and then I'm just laying down, and I'm waiting for my mom to get out of my room, because in my room I had a restroom. So, you know, like, I don't want to like get the, you know, for her to see me walk with the pregnancy to the restroom. So she finally gets out of my room, right? And I like super fast grab the pregnancy test from the closet, and I go in the restroom. Alright, here's where shit gets real, okay? here is where my heart dropped. Okay, so let me backtrack you before I get into what the results were. I'm pretty sure you already know I got a motherfucking baby, so you already know it's a yes. It's a yes, okay? But look, it gets interesting, right? So let me backtrack you how like my mom kind of like knew I was pregnant before I did, or like what symptoms like she kind of like found fishy. Okay, so I remember a day before I found out I was pregnant. She had to go to court, and I had woke up early to go with her. And in that morning, it was super early, and I was hungry. And okay, guys, this is number one. I was so hungry. I was always fucking hungry. Always hungry. Always hungry. I was always hungry. I used to eat a lot, and so like nobody thought nothing of it, but I extremely more than I already did. So I woke up that morning and I made myself some macaroni and cheese, and that macaroni and cheese, like, it was like the ones that you could just put in the microwave and then like in a minute it's done and you could go, you know, like. So I put that macaroni in there. I love macaroni. I freaking love macaroni. And so I made it, right? And as I'm like taking it out, the smell was so disgusting. I wanted to throw up. Like, literally, I wanted to throw up. So, like, I didn't think none of it. Like, me telling this to my mom, she probably already knew I was pregnant and shit, but I wasn't thinking none of it because I didn't think I was pregnant. And I just told her, and I'm like, Mom, like, this just smells nasty. Like, smell it. Does it smell weird, or is it just me? And I wasn't thinking none of it. Like, when I was telling her all that, like, I wasn't like thinking like, oh, I'm not being pregnant. But every time I kept telling her something about food, every time I told her something like that about food, she just looked at me like, what the fuck? So I'm not like, you know, thinking nothing of it at all. And so we're in the car, right? And the whole time I'm just holding this macaroni, debating if I should eat this. And I'm like, no, like, I keep going like to eat it, and I just can't. Like, the smell just makes me want to throw up. Like, I feel super nauseous. So I'm just like, no, I can't. And my mom's like telling me, eat it before we get there because you're gonna be hungry. And so I'm just like, fuck, like, okay, whatever. So I'm like, I'm trying to eat it, but I can't. Like, I take one little bite of the macaroni, and that was it. Like, I threw that shit out. I was like, fuck that, I can't. And my mom was just like, okay. So that was the day before. And so I was already eating a lot. I was feeling nauseous all the time. Food made me like feel nauseous. Sleeping my days all day long. I was sleeping. I will only wake up to eat, go to sleep, to shower, be on my phone for like an hour, go back to sleep, wake up, eat. Same routine every day. And I was sleeping way too much, eating way too much. Like, it was just weird. Like, now that I think about it, I should have known I was pregnant right when I started having all the symptoms. But I didn't think nothing of it. Like, I was just going about my days, you know? So yeah, now let's go back to where I found out I was pregnant. So I'm going in the restroom, right? And I like slowly like open the package, you know? Sorry, I'm back. I just had to make the baby a bottle because she wouldn't stop crying. So like I was saying, so I'm like slowly opening the package or whatever, and I take out the first pregnancy test because there was 2 in it, and I take the first one and I pee on it, you know. I'm peeing on it, and then I didn't know, like, I didn't read the instructions. You're not supposed to shake it because like it'll fuck it up or whatever. So I was shaking it, you know, so I could like hurry up, you know, whatever. It wasn't hurrying up, so I decided to shake it, and like it kept going even slower. So I'm like, fuck. So I put it down, and that's the first thing you're supposed to do. Like, right when you pee on it, you're supposed to put it down and like don't touch it, don't move it, don't do nothing. But my dumb ass wanted to go faster, so I was over here shaking it and shit. You know, you're supposed to wait like 3 minutes. So I'm just waiting there in the restroom. I'm on my phone. I'm like super nervous. I'm like, fuck, like, what if I'm pregnant? But like in my stomach, in my gut, I already knew like that shit was gonna come out like a positive. So I'm just like, fuck. So yeah, I'm just waiting, and then I finally look down and I pick it up, right? And it had like a line where like the little circle shows that it worked, because there's one of like there's 2. There's one that says it worked, and the other one which is negative or positive or whatever. And in the bubble, in one bubble it said it was working. So I was like, okay. So then in the second one, where you see if it's positive or negative, there was a very faint line, a blue like straight line. There was two lines, but one was so faint like you could barely see it. Like I had to move it around to see if it was like a line or not. So I'm just like, fuck, like I think that's positive, but I'm not sure, because like in the package it looks like if it's positive it's like super blue. So I'm just like, shit, like what the fuck, like whatever. So it says like wait till the next morning to take it, because like your pee, or in the morning it's more I don't know what it's called, but it shows the results faster in the morning. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait in the morning, and I like put that pregnancy test up or whatever. And I'm in my bed, right? And the whole time I'm just thinking if I'm pregnant or not. So I'm like, fuck, I can't do this. I can't do this. Like, I have to take the other one. And if it doesn't work, then I'll go buy some tomorrow. And then I'll take it in the morning again. So I go and get the second one, which is the last pregnancy test that comes in the box. And again, I pee on it. And this time, I had already read the box. So I pee on it and I just lay it down. Guys, it did not even take 2 seconds. That shit went like, and it came out both lines. A big ass motherfucking mark, blue, both lines. I like sit there for a good minute and I'm just like, what the fuck? So I text my baby daddy and I just sent him a picture of the pregnancy test. And he's at work, so obviously he's not responding fast or whatever. So I'm just sitting there nervous as shit. And I couldn't help it. My mom was already back in my room. My brothers were all in the room at this point. And I'm just like looking at the pregnancy test. And I'm just like, what the fuck? 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 Like I just start saying what the fuck, like repeatedly after and after and after for a good 30 seconds. And I'm just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And I'm pretty sure my mom wasn't stupid. Like I'm pretty sure she knew I went to the store and I got a pregnancy test. So I'm just like, so at this point I'm like, what the fuck? Like what the fuck? Like oh my god, like what the fuck? Oh my god. So my mom already knew that. I'm pretty sure she already knew what the fuck I was doing in the restroom. And so I get out and I open the door of my restroom and the first person I see is my mom. And I'm like, Mom. And like I didn't even have to tell her. She already fucking knew. Like she already knew. So I'm like, Mom. And then she like looks down and she's like, you know, whatever. Like she already knew. And I'm like, I'm pregnant. And she just stays there. She don't even look at me. She don't even say a word. Like she don't know what the hell to do. She don't know what she's thinking. Like I'm just there like, I'm pregnant. And all my little brothers and sisters were in the room. And so the first reaction I get out of all of them is they're like, oh my god, you're having a baby? That means I'm gonna be a tia. Oh no, that means I'm gonna be a tío. That means I'm gonna be an uncle, whatever. And I'm just like, whoa, like you know, this is just weird to hear that coming out of your brothers, like you're having a baby, like that's their niece. And I'm just like, oh shit. So yeah, that's basically how I found out I was pregnant. My mom, she was the first person that knew before anybody, like before I even knew, before my body even knew, before I knew anything. So yeah, my mom didn't talk to me for a couple days. Like she was just silent. Like she was giving me that silent treatment for a while. But then she had like talked to me. Like whenever I found out I was pregnant, like a couple hours later, she's like, well, you need to call you know, like the doctor or whatever, the OBGYN, and make an appointment to see how far along you are. And I'm just like, at that moment I didn't know how far along I was at all, but I knew for sure I didn't get my period last month or the month that I was in, which was May. So I had called and I was like, can I make an appointment, whatever, and they're like, this is your first time? And I was like, yeah. So they said I had to wait 2 weeks before I could see my doctor. And so those 2 weeks I was just like, oh my goodness, like I want to see like the baby already. Like I want to see if I'm pregnant. I want to see how far along I am. And at this point I was obviously gonna keep my baby. Like I wasn't gonna have an abortion or anything. So I go in, 2 weeks pass. June the 8th was my first appointment. I go in and I was, sorry if you hear that, like squeaky noise. I'm shaking my daughter and her bouncer. So I was 2 months and 3 days pregnant. And my little baby looked like a little peanut. Like, I'm gonna insert a picture here. That's how she looked, like a little freaking peanut. And I was so happy. Like, I don't know, like it's just a weird feeling. Like, I didn't look pregnant, I didn't feel pregnant, but at that moment, like when I found out I was pregnant, all the symptoms I was getting finally made sense. So at that point I was already like, damn, I'm pregnant. All my pregnancy I was nauseous all the time, I slept all the time. Your first trimester, you're gonna sleep the whole time. I swear, the whole first trimester, that's all I did. I just slept. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching my how I found out I was pregnant at 16. I'm not in no way, shape, or form condoning like getting pregnant at a young age, but this is just what happened to me. I got pregnant at a young age, and you know, I had my daughter, and I'm more than blessed with my daughter. I love her so much. Like, it's hard, I'm not gonna lie, it gets hard at times, you know, like it's hard to deal with being a mom at a young age, and you know, a baby that you're not used to having being with you 24/7 of the day. But it's worth it, you know, like it's you know, it's a blessing. But I'm not in no way saying you should get pregnant at a young age. Or if you have a boyfriend that's like trying to get you pregnant, or and you're having problems, or like you know that nigga ain't shit, or he a fuckboy and he trying to get you pregnant, don't get fucking pregnant. Don't fucking get pregnant. Like, that's a mistake I did. But I was already with my baby daddy for a couple years already, so we were having problems. But you know, I thought shit was good or whatever. No, don't let that shit fool you. Use condoms, use protection. Don't get pregnant at a young age. Like, wait till you have lived your life to get pregnant. Like for real, wait till you have actually lived your life. Like, wait till you're in your 20s. Like, literally wait till you're old enough to know what the fuck you're getting yourself into. Because I knew what I was getting myself into, but I wasn't mentally prepared for what I was really gonna get into, you know. Thank you guys for watching. I'm also gonna be filming my labor and delivery story, which that one is interesting also. So remember, like and subscribe if you want to check out my next videos, my older videos. Just go watch my videos and give me some love, support me. So yeah, bye guys.